Hey you guys, thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about a highlighter palette and this is from Laura Mercier. No, this is not the 4-pan Laura Mercier highlighter palette. This is the one I picked up is not that popular. The 4-pan one is very popular. I think if you type in Laura Mercier highlighter palette, you would probably see the 4-pan one, but this is the trio. There's a picture at the back of the box, so you see all these foiled spots, just the random marbled foil spots in here. That's how the palette looks. It looks really beautiful, like in person it's stunning. And this is the box, front of the box, and then you have these spots. This is like a rose gold spots. I don't think you'd be able to see it in the video, but it says Laura Mercier, and this is actually called Stardust Radiant Glow Palette, and it's a trio. There are 3 shades, and this retails for $52, and this is a limited edition palette. This is released for the holidays, and I think you can find this on Macy's website, Nordstrom, Saks Fifth Avenue, and also on Laura Mercier's website. You will not be able to find this on Ulta or Sephora. I think this is more of a department store exclusive palette. So yeah, $52. And how much do you get? It's a trio, as you can see at the back. So you get 3 grams of product in each pan, which comes up to 9 grams. So you're spending $52 for 9 grams of product, and the palette is made in Italy. And I think that's all the information there is. Is there a list of... Yes. Wait, no. It doesn't have a list of ingredients. Oh yes, it does. I'm sorry. Just on this side of the box it has a list of ingredients, but only for 2 of the shades. There's a list of ingredients for the champagne shade, and then there's one for the bronze shade, but there's also one copper shade. Oh wait, there is. On this side you have the list of ingredients for champagne and the bronze, and then on this side you have the one for the rose gold. So just in the opposite ends, and it says illuminate the skin with subtle glow and soft shimmers. So I think that kind of summarizes the formula, what they are trying to deliver to the consumer. So $52 and 9 grams of product, in total 3 grams in each pan, and the product is made in Italy. So this is the palette. It's pretty, right? I really like the packaging, guys. It looks exactly the same as the box. It's beautiful. It has these little rose gold random spots. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And the back, it's very reflective. Don't want to blind you guys. Yeah, I haven't done my nails here still. So it's like a rose gold bottom. And it does come with a mirror. The mirror is the size, exact size of the palette. And at the back it has the name of the shades. One is rose gold, one is champagne, one is bronze. And yeah, it does tell you it's made in Italy, and tells you how much you get. 3 grams in each, 3 times 3 grams it says. And that's it, I guess. So let's open this up, and the palette is magnetic. So it has something like this, but this is just, I think, for a spot where you can like leverage your finger to lift the the top of the palette. So yeah, there's no like click or anything there. It's just a spot where you can put in your finger and just open the palette. And here, this is the actual palette. It's so beautiful. Just look at that. It has those beautiful marbled kind of foiled spots. The marble is actually kind of foiled and very reflective and like super wet looking, right? It's beautiful, you guys, in person. Especially look at that. It's a rose gold with like purples, just purple here and there, and this is like bronze with like a deep bronze shimmer, and this is the champagne one with like very white pearl shimmers, right? So yeah, let's get into the swatches, and I have some thoughts on the palette, you guys. So yeah, let's get into the swatches. This is, hang on, let me swatch in this hand and then do brush swatches on the other hand. So this is bronze. I just swirled, as you can see, that is bronze. I know it looks light, But this shade is actually darker even on my skin tone. It leaves like a really dark cast, like I have like a dark streak on my face when I apply this shade. So I'm just swirling my brush in, taking a little bit. There you go. That is bronze. Shade bronze. I know it kind of looks lighter now, but this is a darker color, guys, even on my skin tone. So that is bronze. And then the champagne one is actually pretty light. Just watching this, do you see it's like just white in color, like very pearly white. Just my hand is still damp, so anyways, that is a pearly white. Let's clean my brush, swirl in. That is that white color, the champagne, like pearly champagne shade. It's not, there's not a lot of gold in the shade, but especially it's more of like a pearl champagne shade. And this, with just one layer, it doesn't look it doesn't look ashy, or it doesn't leave a white cast. But I feel if I go over 2 layers, say if I go like 3 or 4 layers on my skin, it does start to leave a white cast. Now it's like really just one layer, so it doesn't look that bad at all. And this is the subtle and more moderate shimmery highlighter of the 3. This is the one which is like a little bit toned down. I think that works to my advantage, or to anyone's anybody who has like darker skin. I think that's a good thing, you know, otherwise it would be too intense and too ashy looking. So finally I'm swatching the rose gold shade, the one with the the purple foiled finish in there. Now this is the darkest shade, guys, in the palette, and this leaves a serious streak, like a bronzy streak, like as if I have like dirt on my face, but very shiny shimmery dirt. So it looks beautiful, but it's way too dark on me. So that is rose gold. That is a rose gold shade. As you can see, I said out of the 3, 2 shades are pretty dark on me, which is actually, I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. It's not that I don't like it, but you know, but we'll get to that later on. But out of the 3 shades, 2 shades are very dark even on my skin. So I think this is like the perfect highlighter palette for anyone with deep dark skin. It would be like match made in heaven. I think this is like a hidden jewel, like hidden gem, that our highlighter palette made perfect for someone with deep dark skin, because I haven't seen one at all. You know, like I have, out of the 3 shades, 2 shades are dark if you have dark skin. You know, these 2 shades, the bronze is really deep bronze, and the rose gold is actually even more deeper than the bronze. So yeah, now the way I use it is that I have to essentially mix it with the champagne shade. But the downside for me is they do mix really incredibly well. They mix in seamlessly. There's no problem with mixing these powders together, but the problem is I mix the bronze and the champagne, I get a rose gold, and then again when I mix the rose gold with the champagne, I get a rose gold. It's very redundant. The palette is quite redundant for me. So for me personally, for my skin tone, the palette actually, it's too repetitive and kind of redundant, because I'm not too much interested in using the champagne shade by itself, just the champagne shade. So it just leaves me the choice of just one shade, rose gold shade, because that's approximately the color that I get when I mix the bronze or the champagne, or the rose gold or the champagne. So for me, it's not a winner. But just looking at the bigger picture, have you guys seen a palette made for deep dark skin? I haven't. So for that reason, I want to say that the palette is a hit. The formula is incredible, guys. The powders is incredible, and these powders, I don't feel it's like incredibly reflective. I don't feel it's like too foiled or too wet looking kind of powders. They are like medium metallic. These are metallic, but I feel they are more of medium metallic finish. I honestly, I think I mixed the bronze and the champagne today. I can't even tell the difference. Yeah, I know. I forgot what I wore on, I applied on what I applied on my face, but it happens. I had a busy day, but I don't recall. I'm not sure which one I used, but I mixed two colors because otherwise it's impossible for me to use the palette. I have to mix a champagne shade, but that is a downside just for me and anyone who's lighter than me. I think you really have to, I think anyone lighter than me, I'm not even sure if mixing these colors with a champagne shade would actually work, because with this rose gold shade especially, this is the darkest shade with rather than rose gold, it's more of a coppery shade, to be honest. It leaves like reddish streak, and the bronze leaves like a brownish streak on my skin, on my face. So this coppery shade, although I mix it with the champagne shade, I still see that underlying cast, the dark cast on my skin. I mean, that is manageable, but just applying these shades, the darker shades, the bronze and the copper shade by itself, it's just impossible, guys. And that is, I'm talking about on my skin tone. I have dark skin, so imagine anyone lighter than me, I don't feel the palette is going to work. But if you have deep dark skin, I think this is a winner. Pick it up. I'm telling you, the formula is so finely milled, and the powders mix so beautifully well with one another. There's no streaks, there's no like half champagne, half bronze. They just mix one and with one another so beautifully. So if you have deep dark skin, I feel you probably would be able to get 4 colors out of this. You can use the bronze by itself, the copper by itself, and the champagne also. Just use maybe 1 or 2 layers. I think you should not have a problem with the champagne shade. And then if you mix either of these 2 shades, either the bronze with the champagne or the copper with the champagne, you will get a rose gold shade. So if you have deep dark skin, this is a winner. This is a hidden gem. Get it, absolutely get it. It's just the colors just don't work on anybody lighter than deep dark skin. But I personally, I am rallying behind this palette, because how often do we see a highlighter palette made for deep dark skin? So I think I totally support this palette. But for me, I think it just $52 for just one shade. Personally for me, it's just one shade, because I don't think I will ever use this by itself, so I would have to mix either of these shades. So I'm just getting just one rose gold shade, and it's $52 for that. So that's the only downside for me, but otherwise the formula is so good, so finely milled. Oh, by the way, I feel these are baked. I'm not entirely sure if these are just pressed powders, but these are not the gelée formulation. They do not have the max extra dimension skin finish kind of formula. They don't have Estee Lauder's illuminating gelée, you know, the heat wave color. These feel like powders, but still like baked powders, you know, like the one with a slight dome shaped. But these are not dome shaped for sure, but you see the marbled effect that you see, that is actually a dent. The surface is very uneven on all of the powders, so that makes me think that these maybe are actually baked, because they don't really feel like just pressed powder. You know, this surface, all of the marbled areas, the spots that you see are all like indentations. There's like serious ups and downs. The surface is very uneven. So I think these are baked, but not like the gelée formula, just baked powders. So the formula is beautiful, guys. It's a winner, absolutely. But the colors just, I feel anybody lighter than deep dark skin would just end up just having one color, honestly. And anyone lighter than dark skin, I don't see how this is going to work for you, really. You'd probably have a very hard time. But I absolutely support this palette. So that's it, I think. the two most important things I want to talk about is the color selection, like totally meant for deep dark skin, and the powders. The formula is very, very, very good, and it's not an overly reflective, wet looking, glossy looking highlighter. I would consider this like a medium metallic highlighter. You can blend it and like buff it into your skin to give an appearance of a subtle highlighter, but I don't feel you would get that overly metallic, just like liquid metal or like glossy finish. You will not get that finish with these highlighters. I feel no matter how much you build it up, you are not going to get that liquid metal kind of a finish. And these powders do not exaggerate any kind of texture. In fact, they even out the skin beautifully. These are so silky. In turn, they make the skin also appear very silky. I'm just in love with the formula, you guys. I just hope she comes out with the same formula but more reasonable colors. These are, I support it 100%, absolutely, but come on, be reasonable. One mid-tone, one light, and one dark color I think would be perfect. But still, you know, I still support it again. I wish you would come up with more like universal shades. But otherwise, the formula is phenomenal. It's beautiful. I have never raved about like a medium metallic highlighter formula this much. I'm in love with the formula. It's beautiful. And yeah, I think that's it. We've come to the end of this video, you guys. 2 thumbs up for this highlighter palette. The formula is 10 out of 10. The color selection, it doesn't work for me, but still, you never see a palette like made for deep dark skin. For that, I'm giving 10 out of 10. And if you have deep dark skin, pick it up. I think it's a must. You have to, really, you have to. I think you'd see how amazing this palette looks on deep dark, on your skin tone, and you'd be very, very happy. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you've stayed with me to the end of this video, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. It makes me feel very special. If you liked watching this video and found this video very useful and informative, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe. It really means a lot to me, and I will see you guys very soon.